And you're 22?
Yes, 22, yes.
Unreal.
So as of right now, from first week of June till now, we're at 175K sold. I truly never thought that would be possible ever.
Yeah.
Like 200K in 6 months or whatever. Like, are you crazy? I'm like, what? I graduated high school in 21, and I was actually a nursing major. So I was
Okay.
nursing. My mom was a nurse, my aunt was a nurse, my grandmother was a nurse. So it ran in the
Wow.
family. The education load was like crazy. I do have dyslexia, so like I'm not really good at like being in the classroom and stuff like that. I was never a
Yeah.
school person. I was so scared to present an estimate and then go through all the other part of the sales process. In my position now, I could go as high as I want. It just kind of matters where I want to go with it. And the ability to grow and the freedom was kind of what I was ended up looking for. No one likes to be told what to do. Like it's the truth in life.
Hey guys, it's Casey with Painting Business Pro. On this week's episode of the PvP Show, I talked to Ben Tornambe of Tornambe Painting. This 22-year-old has generated almost $200,000 in his first 6 months in business. On this week's episode, there's so much learning from Ben. We talk about how he overcame dyslexia in his business. We talk about how he overcame his sales challenges. We talk about how systems, processes, and calendaring absolutely everything in his life allowed him to not only achieve 200K in the last 6 months, but he was able to take a vacation, attend a couple conferences, and run a half marathon. Check it out, tons to learn. So how was the event, man? It was really good to see you, and really good to see you engaging with everybody. And I thought you learned a lot. It looked like you took away a lot and added a lot to people. How was it overall?
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. My favorite part was probably just meeting everybody.
Yeah,
I never knew I would walk away with so many connections.
totally.
I think just like meeting everybody and like meeting, like I met with I used to do a lot of still do a lot of role plays with
Mm-hmm.
people in PvP, and like actually getting to like meet them in person was like huge to me.
That's
So
so
like
cool.
meeting them, I met like a few people who were my age too, so like kind of like reassured, like we're doing these things right and kind of stuff like that. But dude, it was awesome. I loved it. It got a little fire under me too, so I came back
Yeah.
implementing already, and yeah.
Fantastic, dude. Fantastic. Well, look, I'm eager to dive right in here because I think your story is a really unique one for a number of different reasons. I think obviously your age is one, but I'm really intrigued to dive into like just your path. Like you touched base a little bit in the at the leadership summit that like life was good for you, came from a good family, went to college, and then there was just like sounded like there was just something unfulfilled for you that kind of made you start the company. So I kind of want to dive into all of that, man. So like take me back to like college. Like what were your plans in college? What did you go to school for? Like we didn't get a chance to connect on any of that. So tell me a bit about like where you started and where you thought you were going to go. Let's like start there.
Yeah, so I graduated high school in 21. So my freshman year I went to school at a university in Philadelphia, and I was actually a nursing major. So I was
Okay.
nursing. My mom was a nurse, my aunt was a nurse, my grandmother was a nurse. So it ran in the
Wow.
family. And I thought this was gonna be it. Like pays pretty good. Like you work 3 days a week. Like this sounds great. So I lasted 3 semesters actually. So like usually a lot of people get weeded out in the first semester, but I stuck it out for 3 semesters. But it was just way too much for me. The education load was like crazy. I do have dyslexia, so like I'm not
Okay.
really good at like being in the classroom and stuff like that. I was never a
Yeah.
school person. But at my university, I had the opportunity to work with our men's basketball team as a
Mm-hmm.
manager. So that was like a full-time job for me in school. So, and it was one of the best experiences I ever did because because then I thought I was going to go into sports. So then
Right.
like I started doing all my sports networking um and all this stuff, and it was really cool. So like that was like freshman sophomore year. I went from nursing to go into the sports industry, and then I changed majors to be like a science and business major.
Okay.
And then that meant I was probably going to go into pharmaceuticals, and then I was doing my networking with that, and I was learning about that industry, and I was like, this is like not what I want to do. Like
Right.
going to a 9 to 5 every day. Like this industry has its own bits and pieces to it, but the money's good, right? So that's what I thought was the best part.
Yeah,
But during this whole time, I actually was painting as like a little business of mine because I always kind of knew how to work with my hands. So I posted on Facebook one day, like in local Facebook groups, and got some jobs off of just posting, "Hey, my name is Ben. I'm a college student and I do painting." And that started freshman year and it went to senior year. So yeah.
that's crazy, man. That's I love the I really admire the ambition and the like open mindedness that you had to just like you weren't set in any one way, even though you had like a path like somewhat laid out for you, just family. But it sounds like you were like really keen on finding like what was right for you as you went through like nursing, sports, pharmaceutical, painting. Like what were you looking for, Ben? Like what was it that was like the thing where you were like chasing that you found in painting and you're like, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, for the most part, it was probably the freedom aspect of it. I
Okay.
never, no one likes to be told what to do. Like
Yeah.
it's the truth in life.
Yeah.
And I didn't really find that out probably till my senior year, but probably the freedom aspect and just like the ability to grow.
Okay.
Like in a lot of like in the jobs that I was looking at, there's a maximum of how high you can go in the
Hmm.
company.
Hmm.
But in my position now, I could go as high as I want. It just
Totally.
kind of matters where I want to go with it, and yeah. So I would probably say like the ability to grow and the freedom was kind of what I was ended up looking for.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. So you did it all through college, freshman, sophomore year. Speed us up to kind of where you are today. So walk me through like where are you guys based out of? What's the name of the company? What are you doing today as a full-time entrepreneur?
Yeah, I run Tornambe Painting. We're based right in Montgomery County of Pennsylvania, so it's right in the suburbs of Philadelphia. This is my fifth month in business, so I started it outside of college, and I run the day to day in the company now. So I do estimates, project management, office work, and marketing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's been a great start so far. Looking to grow and grow and grow, but I'm loving it all so far. Yeah.
Fantastic, man. Fantastic. So take me back like 5 months out. I know you were kind of painting, like you said, all through college. But when you decided to be like, this is it, I'm going to go in full time, all in on myself, what were some of those like first few things that you did and focused on like in the early days to really make this a real legitimate business, not just a college kid side hustle?
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing for me was getting off the brush. That
Okay.
was huge for me because I did paint a little bit in my senior year, but I was realizing how much time I was giving up and how
Hmm.
much time I could have been allocating to more sales, more marketing. But like trusting a subcontractor was one thing that I thought I would never would trust
Okay.
and do. But um, I have two subs right now, and the one I've been working with for the entire summer, and we recently just brought another one on last week. But I'd really say getting off the brush and just looking at opportunity is what it was. Like I saw there was something that could happen, and I kind of just believed in myself to kind of do it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'd probably say those two things. Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, you make it sound so easy, just like get off the brush, trust my sub. I know there's so much more to it there. So,
Yeah.
that's a common thing, right? A lot of people are stuck in, and we met a ton of people at the conference that are been on the brush for a long time, man. Like been on the brush for years and years and just can't get off. Either they don't know how, or like you said, they don't believe they can, or they don't trust subs. So, how did you approach it? Like, what was your mindset like? What was the plan going into it? If you had one, like, walk me through those first few bits of really letting go. What was that like for you?
There was definitely some sleepless nights. I will admit that. It's a lot to let go because that's the person who's going to be in front of your clients most of
Hmm.
the time, and that's a big like burden that I had to give up. But I just have to you have to trust people to do things, and trusting them is doing a good finding them in the right way. So I found my subs through my Sherwin Williams rep or through
Okay.
networking.
Okay.
That I would network with local contractors and said, and when I was in college, I said, who do you guys know who you might not use for carpentry, but is a really good painter? So I would do my networking through that, and then it came into an in person interview, making sure they had all the right requirements, they were good with clients. They have references and stuff like that. And then I just started them on a simple job that I knew was possible. Um, and we've been great ever since. And this sub that I recently just tried out, we did the same thing.
Hmm.
I found him through Sherwin Williams. I did a phone interview. Then we did an in-person interview, and then I checked all of his specifics, and they all
Yeah.
worked out good. And then we started on a small job. And I have a text this morning. I thought about you earlier.
Love
One of
that.
my clients texted me um, about my sub this morning, and it literally just made me be like, I never would have thought. He said, "Good morning, Ben. Thank you. I'm impressed at your team's professionalism, and I appreciate the attention to detail. I'll be home this afternoon. Can't thank you guys enough." So like
How good
I
is that?
never thought, like the professionalism, like all this stuff, like so it's things I never thought. And I remember there was a I used to listen to all the podcasts when I was painting on the job, and
Right.
Eric was interviewing some guy in Colorado, and he was saying like, yeah, like I am like disconnected from the project management a little bit now, but he was like, yeah, like now when I go to my jobs, like I hug my subs and I'm like, yo, what's up? How's the family? I never thought I would be doing that, but that's like what I do with my guys. I'm like, yo,
Love
what's
that.
up? How are you? Like, and we just have a great relationship because
Yeah.
you have to treat them how they want to be treated. People take advantage of subcontractors, but if you
Yeah.
truly treat them right and you pay them right on time, they'll be by your side.
Incredible, man. I love that. I love that. Um, so it sounds like having a plan was important to you, but sounds like you got a pretty rigorous process that you follow now. Like you don't skip steps, you know how you approach that. Walk me through kind of in these first 5 months, where have you like focused your energy from, building process to doing sales, getting subs? Like how have you kept yourself organized and how have you kept yourself on track, like focused on the things without like getting, shiny object syndrome and distracted by this squirrel over here or that squirrel over there?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's hard. It's very hard to stay on track. My first 2 months, I would say I was so jumbled. Um, but something I really honed in, and I didn't really notice it until the conference that we just got back from, was there's the four parts of business.
Mm,
There's the marketing, there's the sales, project management, and books. So
yeah.
so sometimes I write in a piece of paper those four groups,
Okay.
and then I say, what do I need to work on and master within those groups? And then once I do that, I'm pretty good. Um, and I didn't notice that till recently. But definitely joining the program helped me out a lot with that, learning the sales SOPs, marketing, everything in between, project management. Um, but like a lot of it was just dropping my ego and
Mm,
like being like, do it the right way the first time. And I know it, like it may be a pain the first time to go through your sales process exactly how we're supposed to. Like it may
yeah.
sound funny doing these certain things, but they're there for a reason. And like, and it's so true. So whenever I have an estimate, and I have a checklist for a pre-estimate. So when I'm in the car, I make sure I get my laser measure, my notebook,
Mm,
my iPad, my color deck, like a ton of things, like to make sure I have bring them all inside,
yep.
and like make sure I have the right address, make sure I'm parked on the street, like not in the driveway because if they have to leave. And then I have my checklist for when I get back in the car. So it's like, did I send the estimate? Did I make a follow up if we need to do a follow up? Did I take pictures? Did I ask these questions? So like those things are kind of what keep me on track. And then for
So good.
project management, I do so a pre job walk around is subcontractor knows exactly what to be done. Material is there. Client is introduced to subcontractor. There's a place to wash brushes.
Hmm.
Client knows the next time I'm going to text them. Like there's a ton of like so like that's what keeps me in mind in
Okay.
track because with my dyslexia, I have to write things down in it. But like those things keep me in track with it.
Love
I know
that,
that was a
man.
lot.
No, no, that's, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. So it makes sense. I think on the outside, it looks easy. And like you said, even just like get off the tools, get a sub, but there's so much that goes to it. And staying organized is super key, I think. And, being able to stay committed to whatever that task you're doing. Cause it's real easy, right? You're in the middle of something and then your phone rings and you got to go and do that. Or, there's a
Mhm.
fire to get put out because something went right. It happens all the time. Right. Um, so it sounds like having those checklists, having that process is what really helps you kind of get through that. Um, what do you do when you get a curveball? So it all, again, sounds all nice and nice. You just said like, oh yeah, I get curveballs. Walk me through kind of how you manage your day, how you manage like those curveballs, those fires that get to put out. Like, what is it like being like a bona fide business owner, man? Like, it all stops at you at the end of the day.
Things always pop up. I've been very lucky recently. Everything's been pretty good.
Good.
But so like yeah, whenever a problem usually pops up with a subcontractor, we always usually talk, and I'm like, all right, what's the problem, and then we figure out the solution.
Hmm.
I think the best thing with like when it comes to those putting out the fires is just like to pause. Like everyone's like so like anxious, and like I used to like text people, oh like this that like, and then I would regret sending the text because everything's actually fine. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just like pausing and then just having like and just being aware of like you said with your schedule, like being aware like, all right, I have an estimate coming up in 2 hours, but we don't have paint on the job right now. How are we gonna get paint on the job? Are we gonna
Right.
order it from Sherwin Williams? Can I call my rep and he'll run it over here real quick, or is the subcontractor gonna go get it?
Right.
Like so I think stuff like that and just like thinking about it and like I kind of always like I embrace the failures because I know they're going to come.
Yeah.
And I actually just made a doc in my drive of failures, like my sales and project management failures, so I can
Nice.
teach people because I make so many every day, and it's like insane. And like the more I just embrace those, the better. But I think just taking your time with those and just being like, it's gonna get figured out. We've
Yeah.
had paint spill before, and you just gotta. What is the next way that we can make sure the customer is happy and make sure we're getting it done the right way.
I love that, Ben. I love how you're like even starting to document things because I talk to a lot of people, and that's always a tricky part is like you said, that knowledge transfer where we make our lives so much more difficult when we don't take the time to slow down, document, because otherwise we're just trying to knowledge transfer from what's in our head. And like, how do you expect people to actually learn and be able to know, what you did in a really pragmatic way, if we don't document it? But also the self-reflection piece, man, that's no easy feat to be able to sit back and look at a document and be like, these are all my screw ups.
Oh yeah, color coded and everything. Yeah.
That is so awesome, man. That is so awesome. Cool. So, walk me through, like, let's get into some of the numbers. What's the first 5 months been like, man? Because I know you've come out of the gate just swinging hard.
Yeah, so as of right now, from first week of June till now, we're at 175K sold.
So good.
Um, and right around probably 150 of that produced so far.
Fantastic.
So doing pretty good.
Yep.
I my goal is 200 by January, and so I think 25K in 2 months will be pretty possible. But I always said I said at the event I never like I truly never thought that would be possible ever.
Yeah.
Like 200K in 6 months or whatever. Like, are you crazy? I'm like, what? And I remember I was at a dinner with a friend in probably like April or May, and I was like, yeah, I think I want to do like 200K for like the year, like from like May to May. And he's like,
Yep.
dude, are you serious? So and he was like, do 200K by January. And I was like,
Look at that.
what? Like
Look at
like
that.
what? And like I'm doing the calculations, and I'm like, this is this much per week. I have to sell that much, like, and it's all just a part of the process. Like
Yep.
it all is part of the process. Staying consistent. The big ones come in. The sales slumps are always there. I had
Yep.
some weeks that I wouldn't sell a thing, and I was like, what? And then I'd have weeks that I'd sell crazy, like.
Totally.
So I'm hoping to meet the goal. It's been crazy so far.
And you're 22?
Yes, 22. Yes.
Unreal. So good. 22 years old, 200K in 6 months, and he's just getting started. And you're just a one man show, right? On the front side of the business. Like, you've got your subs, but you haven't started building out a team or anything yet, right?
Not yet. Nope. Not yet.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, cool. So, what is it like getting together with your college buddies again and, grabbing a beer and catching up? And this is where you are. what is that? What has that been like? Just relating to like friends and family and stuff like that. Being a business owner, like your business is on pace to do, probably close to 500K, if not more, like in a year. What is that like, man? At 22?
Yeah, it's definitely crazy, and I'm not somebody who shares my numbers with my friends because I'm just not somebody who does it with this community. I always encourage it. It's fun. Like me, like when they're everyone always asks like how's business, and business is great. Even like even on the bad days, like I was talking to somebody. I was on an estimate the other day, and it's a guy. He owns like a amusement park, and
Mm-hmm.
he was like, and you're gonna have like you have your good days and your bad days, but he goes, the bad days are always are not nearly as bad as what a bad day in the 9 to 5 would be.
Yeah,
Like I would prefer to be in my position on a bad day
yeah,
than work like in the corporate world.
yeah,
But it's cool. My family's very supportive of it. They love it. It's my family's last name, so
yeah,
they're
man.
really happy with it. All my college and high school buddies, they're all very supportive. They all want hoodies, so I got to get them hoodies soon.
There you go.
And I got to get them to do some marketing around campus too. So that would be good.
Absolutely. That's the best way to do it, man. That's the best way to do it. Where is the family last name from? Like, what's your guys' background?
Yeah, so it's from Sicily. So
Okay.
right in Italy, bottom of the boot, Sicily, and I actually just got back from there. I was in we're from Ribeiro, so
Okay.
it's beautiful on the ocean. Oh, it's like I want to go back. I will go
Oh,
back. Yes.
that's
So
going to Italy's like bucket list for me, like Amalfi Coast and all that stuff. Like, I would
yes.
love to. I can see myself just having an Aperol spritz, just sitting on the coast there. I
Yeah.
can see it, Ben. So when were you there? When were you there most recently?
I was there. I actually had a crazy. I had a crazy September and October. So I went to a I went to Tommy Mello's conference out in Vegas
Okay.
in September, and then I went to Italy in October for 2 weeks, and then I came back, ran a marathon in Cape Cod, went
Jeez.
and then stayed in Boston for that weekend, and then I was at the PvP. So like I've had a crazy September and October so far, so it's been pretty cool. So and we've been producing jobs while I was away too, so that was like crazy to me, like
That's
eye
that,
opening.
that's my big takeaway, man. Like at the very beginning, you mentioned like freedom was what you were chasing ultimately with your
Yeah.
career. So you're able to, at 22 years old, build a business on track to do 200K in 6 months, all while traveling a good amount, having a vacation, training for a marathon, running the marathon, professionally developing. How do you keep yourself that organized, Ben? Because that's no small
Yeah,
feat, man.
one big thing PvP taught me was definitely my calendar and Google Calendar. It sounds crazy, but every time slot of your day is scheduled.
Yes, sir.
And like, oh, it may seem like, whoa, that's like way too much, but it keeps you on track. And it's
Yep.
like, and it's also a reflection of what did I do today? And realistically, what made me money? What is
Mm-hmm.
going to make me money? And what was a
Mm,
waste of my time?
so
Like,
good.
so that's what I'm starting to reflect on and be like, all right, like maybe I didn't need to go to that thing that I went to. Like maybe I would
Sure.
have done better doing a sales role play with one of the PvP people. Like
Mm-hmm.
definitely my calendar. Um, and I'm a person for opportunity, dude. I love opportunity. When I'm given
Yeah.
it, I take it. So I'd probably say yeah. So
That's so cool, man. That's fantastic. Um, you mentioned earlier, like the highs and the lows. Sales is that way. Business is that way.
yeah.
Arguably, life is that way. What are some things that you do, Ben, to help you sort of manage yourself in those highs to not get too high? You mentioned earlier sometimes you can be frantic and send those messages. What have you done to help manage those highs when you're high and help stay grounded when you're low to get out of that?
Yeah. I'm definitely a big recorder person. So
Okay.
like, I will like, I'll record myself sometimes and be like, today was a good day.
Yep.
We did this, we sold this amount. Today was a bad day. You're gonna have these days.
Yep.
But it's truly just remember like this is a marathon. This is
Yeah.
not a sprint.
Yep.
Like it's some days like I had a whole week I didn't sell anything and I
Yep.
was like, oh, like it's not a good week. This was like 2 weeks ago. And
Yep.
on Friday at my 3:30 appointment, I sold a $12,500 job on the spot.
So
And
good.
I was, and they were like, and I brought the estimate to them, and I'm like, this is the biggest bid that I've presented on the spot. Like, man, it'll come to 12,500 like after discounts. Okay, honey, let's go with it. And I was like, sounds good, sounds good. And then like later that day, I got like a $2,000 one came in at the end of the day. Like so, like you truly never know when it's gonna come, but
Yep.
it just you just gotta like just trust the process
Hmm.
and just know the goals that you set. Like you have to do that. You have to keep ticking away at the stone to get
Yep.
to them. And like and the moments that you think that oh like I'm down, just like what can I do to improve myself? Like Eric always says, like whenever you have a sales slump, what are you doing to improve your sales process?
Yep.
Whenever you have a bad sub, what are you doing to recruit more subs so this doesn't happen again? Like
Yep.
so there's always ways to keep improving yourself and it's just it's a marathon, not a sprint.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, man. And again, I really like how you mentioned like having that tight process and that checklist. That's one thing I always relate to with really, really good, like the difference between great and good salespeople is the great people stay on top of all the basics, even when they're at the top. Because it's really easy to slip when you're at the top and be like, oh, I don't need to practice. I don't need to do my admin because, I'm cooking right now. I just look at me, 12,500 on the spot. But the slump's coming because that's just how life is. And so, I mean, staying on top of that process when you're at the top, I always find is what helps you stay there. Or when the dip comes, it's not as deep as you think it is because you're not panicking at the bottom going, now I need to get back to the basics. You've been there the whole time kind of thing, right?
What did Kobe do? Kobe did the fundamentals every
Absolutely.
day, fundamentals
Absolutely.
every day, and if this and the fundamentals, and then one day it's all right. I'm gonna work on my post. All right, and then for sales, that's all right. I'm gonna work on my initial call.
Yep.
All right, I'm working on my fadeaway. Like, all right,
Yep.
now I'm working on my
Yep.
Q&A. Like, it's fundamentals. I think is what I'm really realizing now.
Love it, man. Absolutely love it.
If you listen to the podcast, almost every single person that we talk to on the show is someone that we have worked with at Painting Business Pro. If you run a painting company or you're starting a painting company and you are really serious about building an amazing business while having a great lifestyle along the way, that is what we do best. When you work with us, you'll plug in to all of the systems, playbooks, training, and get coaching from me and my team. That's the training, systems, playbooks, and team that runs our currently $40 million portfolio of painting companies. It's the stuff that's working right now. We're actually doing this stuff day in and day out, and we love coaching people and helping people grow. So if you're interested in getting some help and working with us, head over to paintingbusinesspro.com and apply now, and we look forward to talking with you soon.
So, you mentioned some big jobs that you've got in. We're talking about sales. Walk me through kind of like, early days. How have you been getting these jobs? Because I think, that's probably something a lot of people are wondering out there going, all right, you came out of the gate, you're hot, you got lots of jobs, but like, where is he getting these jobs from? Walk me through kind of like what marketing has been like for the first few months, and where you got your like first couple jobs to really get things rolling.
Yeah. So I'm looking at my marketing right now, and I'm right around a 5% marketing. Um, I really have not invested that much, I would say. Um, the one of the big things I always do is no matter who I know, no matter where I am and who I'm around, everyone there will know that I have a painting company within like 3 or 4 minutes talking to me.
I love
Because
that.
I just that's the like we are like I'm a marketer. Like again, a conversation. Oh hey, how are you? What do you do for a living? They're gonna
Yep.
ask you, what do you do? Oh, I
Yep.
actually own my own painting company.
Yep.
Oh, what? What? A painting company? Oh yeah, yeah. You want to? And I pull my Instagram up. It's me taking videos of all of our jobs and everything.
Yep.
So I always do that, and that like whenever I'm at family events, like I always do that, and right around I think it's 66% of my marketing is of my leads are from referrals and me networking. So
Okay.
referrals
Mm-hmm.
and me bringing it in. So it's all free. Um, the other percentages are Facebook ads, yard signs, Nextdoor. Um, like I said before, the Facebook groups. So
Mm-hmm.
every township in the United States has a Facebook group that has
Okay.
usually has all the moms, all the soccer moms are in it,
Yep.
And then I wouldn't recommend it if you're $500,000 company, but if you're just getting started, like
Yep.
that's a great place to get some work. When I was in my first 3 years of business, me on the
Hmm.
brush, that was my only marketing, and it
Hmm.
was $0.
Unreal.
And I got in with like a lot of the moms who would just keep referring me.
Yep.
Um, so I would definitely say like networking with the people you know is huge, and my social media has really helped me out with that.
Yep.
If anyone wants to go to Tornambe Painting on Instagram, you can kind of see like what I do for my videos. Um, and sometimes people who I used to go to school with, their aunt or uncle needs a paint job, and
Yep.
I got a call over the summer. A college buddy of mine, one of his friends' stepmom needed her room painted,
Yep.
and he called me that day, and I was out there later that day, and she was on the project calendar for in 2 weeks,
Look at that.
like
Look at that.
stuff like that. And like one last thing I'll say about networking is I learned this at my university. So I was an ambassador. So I was like, so ambassadors of a university are the ones who talk to the alumni. So like
Okay.
I was kind of always like that helped me a lot with talking with people who were older than me. But what the VP of advancement taught us was whenever someone asks about the university, like don't just say it's good because people are asking because they actually want to know.
Yeah.
And then I took that to my business and I was like, I get asked all the time, how's business? And if I just say good, it doesn't leave an impact on them. But like if I go, business is great. We actually haven't missed a week this whole summer. I've actually been able to keep the guys pretty busy. And today we're actually working in Worcester today, down the street. And we were in Collegeville last week. And I just added a second sub crew to the team. So it's going pretty good.
I love
And then
that, man.
and then that's just other ways to go off it and just talk more about painting. And
Yep.
then who knows later down the road they're talking to their mom or dad about they need the whole interior done. So
Yeah.
so
There we go.
that's something I really took away because it's like with everything as well. Like how's the family? How's work? How's the new car? Like if you just say good, it doesn't go anywhere with the conversation. Like
Yep.
so
Yep.
that's something I took away for not only business but life.
So good, man. So good. I love all of that, Ben. Um, we talk about a lot of things that are going really well and a lot of things that you seemingly are like naturally really good at. Like you're a strong speaker, you're a natural salesman, obviously. What were some of the things that you like really struggled with out of the gate, like to get started with, that you just like had to put a lot of extra time with, or were harder than you thought they were, or that you're still working on and struggling with? Like walk me through some of those hurdles and challenges for you.
Yeah. Definitely sales. I
Wow.
know I
I
might
would have
come off
never
as a
guessed,
confident
man. I would
person,
have never guessed.
uh, but I had no clue. I was so scared to present an estimate,
Okay.
like present an estimate and then go through all the other part of the sales process.
Hmm.
Um, I was like scared to death. I was scared to ask them questions. Be like, what do you expect in a painter? Like I was scared to ask that question.
Right.
Like it was like crazy. And the thing I realized is like the more you just get the words out, just like when you're in front of people, just get the words out. And the longer you are with the customer, the more they're going to trust you. The estimates that I spend an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours at are the jobs that I sell. The
Right.
ones that I'm there for 15, I'm never there for 15 minutes, but the ones I'm there for 30 minutes for, those
Hmm.
jobs I don't sell. Because
Yep.
maybe it's because the client and me didn't have a good connection. It's usually because I just didn't try hard enough to build that rapport with that client.
Right.
Um, but I definitely struggled with sales in the beginning. Organization, thank God I have Paint Scout. I had like a crash out probably like a month ago, and I was like, I'm in shambles. Like this is going, and I literally just looked at a piece of paper, and I wrote down the A to Z process of getting a client, and it was from the lead, and then it was to the 5-star review,
Yep.
and I delegated, and I said, okay, all right, so I have the lead comes in. Obviously, I'm going to call it. Um, I'm going to get the Paint Scout CRM. So then, so then that holds all the clients. It sends them the calendar invite. It confirms the address. I have a video that I send that introduces me and how I estimate. It sends that. It sends my website, and it also sends Sherwin-Williams app on how to pick a color, like if they want to start
So
ahead of
good.
time. And then I went deeper into my my whole A to Z process, and I was like, why am I getting paint? Like, and I have paint in my garage, and I'm like, why am I getting the paint? It makes no sense for me to be storing it, buying
Yep.
it. So now I have my subs do it, and I had a conversation with them, and I'm like, hey, like to be honest, like I'm always texting you, being like, how much trim paint do we have left? How much ceiling paint do we have left? Like and stuff like that.
Yep.
And he's like, no, it makes sense, and now I pay him a little extra now for doing the trips to waiting at the
Sure.
store, but like those are the things that you have to automate. It's because
Yep.
my list was probably 30 things long,
Yeah.
and I think I have it down. I actually have it right here.
I
right
love
here.
that, Ben. I love it.
I have it down to 15 now,
Look at that.
and I'm pretty comfortable with that right now. So the automation was big for me too. Is
Yeah.
just saying organized.
If you're listening to this right now, Ben basically gave you his full sales process and A to Z process. So go back, listen to it, save it. But the one big thing I want to call out is that you mentioned, Ben, in your sales process or your customer acquisition process, it didn't stop with a sale. Like yours ends with a 5-star review,
Oh, 100%.
right? How important
Absolutely.
has that been for your word of mouth and like just your reputation out of the gate here?
Oh yeah. When I'm in a church, my church's bulletin,
Mm-hmm.
and I was on an estimate the other day, and and I was like, "How did you hear about me?" She's like, "Oh, we saw you from the church bulletin." And then when I asked the question, like, "What's important to you when hiring a painter?" She was like, "Definitely like good reviews." And I was like, "Oh, did you look us up?" And she was like, "Yeah, like I actually really liked your reviews. Your clients seemed like they really liked your cleanness, your professionalism, and all stuff like that." And I've just been, and all my previous clients, like I've just been texting them and asking like, hey, like when I painted for you, would you be willing to leave us a 5-star review?
Yeah.
Um, and sometimes you got to call, because sending a text and just asking for something doesn't always work.
Yep.
I know people send chocolates. I know one of my buddies does gift cards. Um, but getting 5-star reviews is huge. I think I'm up to like 46 now. Um,
Unreal.
but, uh, but,
Unreal, man.
but yeah, reviews are huge.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Um, so what's next? You're 6 months in. You've exceeded your initial goal. You've met the challenge of your buddy, and you've hit that 200K in 6 months.
Yeah.
What's next for you? What do you have cooking in terms of like growth, in terms of team? What's going on there for you?
Yeah, so I'm trying to discover what is possible. Is really what
Sure.
it is. Like I haven't set my pure goal yet, but I'm shooting for 750
Okay.
for 2026.
Nice.
I think I can crush that.
Yep.
But definitely 2026 is going to be 750. Bringing on a project manager hopefully in probably March of that,
Okay.
and then hopefully this time next year I have a sales rep on full time. But I'm really happy with what we're going at right now. I'm really digging into Facebook ads is what I'm really hammering into.
Mhm.
I'm on calls about doing SEO and stuff like that. But I'm ready to shoot for the moon with this business.
Heck yeah.
There's a lot of painters around me, but you just got to separate yourself in the end of the day. Like,
Yep.
and it's not that hard. Like, and it's just being yourself. Like, I'm trying to post my face everywhere.
Love
Like,
it.
I remember I was talking, I'm trying to pick Hunter's brain when we were getting ice cream at the event. And,
Yeah.
and as he's like eating his ice cream, he's like, and he's like, yeah, everyone we're in, when, when he goes out to dinner with his wife, he's like, oh, people come up to me and say like, oh, you're the painting guy, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
and that's what it should be, because like I really don't see like that much painting advertising. It's the
Hmm.
Serta pros around me, and the companies like that. But now I'm hoping to travel a lot once it comes to the spring. I go to I'm going to go to a lot of those basketball games at my university.
Oh
Shout out
yeah.
LaSalle.
There you
So
go. Look at that.
that'll be a good one. But yeah, just going with the flow. Our winter slows down a little bit, so I'm gonna
Yep.
really hone in my paint scout, and stuff like that. So yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I know you mentioned earlier you don't really get into numbers and stuff with your friends and family, but if your buddies and boys are watching this now, the cat's out of the bag. We know what Ben's up to, what he's been cooking. Um, so you mentioned the it's getting slow and things like that. So what are you focusing on right now? Exteriors, interiors? Where did you kind of cut your teeth to begin with, and what's the future part look like there? I think you mentioned earlier that you had was it an amusement park owner?
That was one of my clients.
Right.
That's what he
So is that commercial? Are you
but
doing some commercial stuff as well, or like walk me through kind of where you're focusing your business right now?
yeah, so it was 34 degrees this morning when I went to the gym, and it was
Okay.
not fun.
Yeah.
And so thankfully my sub got all the exteriors done while I was in Colorado last week.
Okay.
So we're done with exteriors. I'm actually an interior person. I
Okay.
did interiors for the past 3 years. Everyone in PvP is probably like, "Do you prefer interior? What?" Like,
Mm-hmm.
I like interior. But yeah, I'm really honing in more marketing now because we are
Okay.
slowing down. Um, but I'm going to be taking some more time. I think chill out a little bit. It was a
Yep.
long summer.
Yep.
Like it was a long summer. But yeah, just dialing all my procedures. Every day I'm studying. Every day I either have an hour of sales practice, marketing, or a role play with a PvP member,
Gotcha.
just to keep educating myself. But knowing me, I usually don't take breaks. So
I was gonna say. I was gonna say. So what does development look like to you, man? Like you mentioned, like obviously PvP. But what are some other resources that you lean into? Like what are some places of inspiration that you go to when you want to learn, level up, get better? Talk to me a bit about what growth and learning looks like for you.
yeah, like I mentioned, like I was dyslexic, so I never liked learning because I
Mm.
never like had interest in the things we were doing. But I've kind of like I've kind of created this addiction, I think, of business, and
Yeah.
like it's a healthy addiction. It is.
Yep.
I think I have Eric's voice ingrained in my head because I've listened to all of the PvP videos and all of the podcasts and everything. Um, but I look at those HVAC, plumbing, heating, cooling guys who are
Mhm.
doing 100 $200 million a year, and I look at what they're doing. I'm like, all right, like obviously those are bigger tickets. Like obviously those are 20 grand tickets instead of my $4 or $5,000 ticket. But what are they doing right that I can implement?
Hmm.
I definitely say that. I've actually started reading a little bit now. I never thought I'd be
Okay.
reading books, but I'm finding the things that I have interest in, and
Yep.
they're motivating me to do more things. Um, but I think it just one of the big one of the thing that keep me motivated is talking to the people who are doing the same thing I'm doing. Is
Hmm.
like when I do my role play, we usually don't start role playing 30 minutes in because I got to cut the conversation off and say, "Yo,
Yeah.
we got to role play." Like, so like it's like when I talk to my buddies on PvP, we're sharing the same things we're doing,
Yep.
but they're in Colorado, Indianapolis, Tennessee, and all the other in California and
Yep.
all the other states like that. So that's a huge advantage that we have.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I love it, man. I love it. Um, if there's someone sitting at home right now, Ben, that is your age, thinking about what to do with their career, um, what's some advice that you can give to them when it comes to like what's most important when deciding what you want to do with your life, with your career?
Yeah. Um, it's I remember I had an internship 2 years ago,
Mhm.
and it was a sports internship, and it was 2 days a week, and I would go from 9 to 5 there, and everyone would just be wasting the clock,
Yep.
and I was like, time. The most important thing you hear in life is your time. Like
Yeah.
it's where you put your time, and you guys are wasting the clock away. So that was a big motivation for me. But I would say it's definitely important to learn the painting industry.
Mm.
Just go to your go on YouTube, look up the Idaho painter. You will learn how to paint in 30
Yep.
minutes.
Cool.
Then go to a Facebook group and post, hey, my name is Ben. I'm a college student, and I'm looking for some interior paint jobs. If you'd like to get an interior room done before the holidays come around, and like my daily rate before, like this time last year, like my daily rate was right around $200 to $300 a day,
Yep.
and I was booked up for the whole summer and
Wow.
winter breaks.
Yep.
And so you really can make good money, and just do some research, learn what it's like to actually paint, I would
Hmm.
say. So then when so down the line, like when my subcontractors come to me and say, oh, this process, I'm like, I know the process. I
Yep.
know how much it takes. So, and if they do ask for more money, we talk, okay, this is the process. And I remind them, like, I do know that does not take an hour to paint a door trim. I do know
Yep.
that.
Yep.
But it's also helpful, like when I'm estimating, and I can explain the process of how we replace boards, what process we do when we paint what.
Hmm.
Um, but I would definitely say learn how to paint a little bit. Just
Okay.
try it on a
Yep.
weekend.
Yep.
Do like 3 jobs. You'll make $1,000 in a few weeks. Like,
Yep.
and just compare that, and maybe you start doing it yourself first, and then the biggest thing for me was looking up things and learning from people who have done it before me.
Mm.
Like, there are people out there who do want to help and just and offer their help,
Yeah.
and some stuff is free and some stuff isn't. But me investing in coaching, I oh my god, like I would never have been this possible in my
Never do.
opinion.
Yeah.
But the coaching has been huge for me. Just having people to fall back on,
Yep.
like having access to the members, like my
Yep.
role play partners,
Hmm.
the webinars, the videos to go back on, the Facebook page, like mastering my time, like all
Yep.
that stuff has been huge. But yeah, and sometimes you just got to live a little bit, and you got to look on my wall right now. I have my why am I doing this, and it's my list of things why I'm doing
I love how you've got access to everything, and that's such a big
it.
takeaway for me, where it's like it's not just living in your head, it's not just some conceptual thing. You got your sales process written down, you've got your whys written down, you got your numbers in front of you. Like that's so important. I think for people that are listening out there, put it on paper. Like put your
Yeah,
thoughts on paper, put your plans on paper, and iterate. I think I noticed that your sales
yeah.
process was just like at the hotel. Yeah, there we go. Right, like you're
My
on
to-do
the
list for the
fly.
day, my Facebook ads, like the Elizabeth Hotel.
I was gonna say, right? It's not fancy. It's just like just shut up and do the work. Like do the
Yeah.
the work that isn't sexy, that isn't necessarily fun. It's repetitive, but I'm hearing a lot of that from you, Ben. It's just like those basic things compounding over time. Would you say is like being a really big thing for you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think saying the words compounding over time is huge. Like
Hmm.
I today I from the I have a business improvement doc on in notes in my phone that,
Yep.
like, when I'm driving, like I'm like, update Facebook ads. I say it into Siri. So then I,
Yep.
like, when I get out of a car ride, I have a ton of things, and then I put it into my business improvement doc, and
Yep.
then I break it into those 4 categories that I talked about.
Yep.
And today I picked 10 things to do. And
Yep.
once I get that to-do list done, you don't have to do any more. Like, that's enough for today. Like,
Totally.
because I overstimulate on myself all the time, but like just ticking away and just getting things done, you'd be surprised. If I did 10 to-dos per day, that's 50 a week. Like,
Crazy, right?
times that by 52. Like,
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I love that.
wow.
You're so full of energy, Ben, and I think like you're the type of guy that like draws attention to you, because you definitely like drew my attention when I first met you, and I hadn't even seen you
Thank you.
before. So like I said, confidence, a lot of things, good things going for you. You mentioned that you've got dyslexia and you've got some challenges of your own. Walk me through how you dealt with any kind of self-doubt you might have had, because there's a lot of people that don't believe in what's possible. Like you said, they don't believe that they are capable of things, whether that's money, whether that's business, whether that's like I came from a place where I'm not educated, or all those things. How did you deal with like your, I don't want to say limitations, but like your challenges that were just
Yeah.
there? Like you can't get rid of those things. That's who you are. how'd you deal with like that voice in your head? How'd you overcome that? And I'm sure it's an everyday thing. So like, just talk to me about how you manage that.
Yeah. Self-doubt is normal, 100%. And I have it all the time. Um, but there's no easy really way to say it, but it's just you when I get myself into these situations
Yeah.
and I have to get myself out of them, and building my confidence is, other than business, is working on my personal health. Like
Mm.
that's why, I think that's, people miss that so much. And
Yep.
to the point of people with the 9 to 5s is, when you're getting to work at 8:15 in the morning, and then you're home by 6, 7 o'clock at night, like there, and you have family, like there is no time for the gym. So
Hmm.
like, and that's so important to me, that like my health motivates me to do things. But the self, I've had a lot of self-doubt moments, of course, and if people didn't, they'd be lying to you.
Totally.
But that's when I look at my why am I doing this list.
Right.
Like, why am I doing this? I'm doing this for my freedom, for my future family. It's so I can just go and golf with my buddies on a Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Like,
Yep.
it's stuff like that. And some days, like, there's been days that I see the guy weed whacking the road line, and I'm
Yep.
like, "Ah, I wish I was in this situation." But I took this class in my senior year of college,
Okay.
and it was like a leadership class, and it was the best class I ever took. It was with our head coach of the basketball team, who I got
Mm.
really close with. But pressure is a privilege. Like,
Yeah.
pressure is a privilege, and the pressure to deliver on these jobs is it's a privilege. Like, what if you didn't have the jobs? Like, then you'd be stressed out that I need more leads.
Totally.
Um, so I think, and like I said, like, embracing the failures, like they do suck at the time, but just taking note of them and like actually remembering what happened and how you got out of it.
Yeah.
Um, we had this barn job. I was friends with this painter. I grew up on a farm my whole life, so that's kind of how I learned to work with my hands too.
Okay. Okay.
But I I said yes to doing this barn, and I didn't do a good job estimating it. I didn't get on a ladder and look how bad it was. And the first day we get out there and we have to power wash it. And we're power washing it, and I look up and I'm like, this whole side of this barn has to be hand scraped because the
Ooh.
paint is just peeling off.
Ooh.
So I literally I had an extra pair of clothes, and I just put my shirt and shorts on, got on a ladder, and my sub was there, and I just, because I knew I couldn't leave him there.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't in the work order. It wasn't,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I had to get up there, and there was so many times that I wanted to go up to the guy and say, I'm sorry, we can't do this, but we had to. And like, I ended up, like, I think I spent $1,100 on paint in one day
Wow.
on that one project. And it was
Wow.
like, because I had to get the best emerald urethane, the
Hmm.
emerald ray refresh. Um, but like, I committed to it. I had to keep my integrity and say, I did it. I will complete it. And to be honest, when you have those really bad days, there's always, Kevin Hart always says it, always find the positive and the negative. Like, and like on that day,
Yeah.
when I was collecting final check from him, like, he was like, I'm so happy. Thank you so much. Like, his barn looks amazing now. Like, he lives alone. Like, now he has something really amazing to look at every day.
Yeah.
And it took me back to like when I was young and living on the farm and stuff. And now I have a bid for another barn.
Look at that. So don't take away there. Don't be afraid. Like just because things are a little
Yeah.
hard, don't be afraid, right?
Yeah.
I
So
love that. I
it
love
worked
that,
out.
man.
Uh,
You mentioned being, raised on a farm, and I think when we met, you mentioned how like your mom is like a grounding place for you, and a place that you
yeah.
go to get grounded. How important has that been for you, just to like have family in your corner, and how high are they on that why list for you? Like, talk to me about just the importance of family to your success.
Oh yeah. Well, I am so blessed to have two family that are together, two parents that are together, a family that's healthy. Huge. I currently live at home right now, so my dad works 20 feet that
Right
way. He
there.
works from home, so I'm always, Dad, we sold a job today. So like,
Oh, I
it's
love it.
funny. But they're super supportive, but they're also, they're also very like grounding too. They're
Mm.
like whenever I come home with a big project or opportunity, they're always like, all right, like,
Hmm.
is this the right thing? Like, are
Hmm.
you sure? Like, so like they do keep me grounded. It's not just like a yes. Oh, you're great, you're great. But I like I mentioned with my mom, whenever I had the situation about the barn, and I went up and
Hmm.
I was like, do I tell him I can't do it? And it was like, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Just do the right thing, and your customers will commend you for it.
Yeah.
So it's funny you mentioned that. I had I sometimes record my estimates.
Okay.
So be careful for those listening. Read your laws in your state about recording estimates.
Yes. There you
I
go.
can in PA, but it's been huge to me because they say sales is a sport,
Yep.
and Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, they watch film,
Game tape.
and why would we not watch film on ourselves?
Absolutely.
So I record my estimates, and in one of my closes, there was a woman who she had a budget, but
Hmm.
she wanted to see prices on stuff, and I said if you wanted to get that done, it'd be right around $8,500, and she was like, oh wow, that's a lot more than I thought. So I was like, let's take this off. It doesn't need to be painted. I think it's in great shape. You don't need to
Hmm.
paint this. You don't need to paint that. And I got it down to like 6,100, and she was like debating, and then I came in one more time and I said, the top of the foyer, I don't think it needs to be done. I think we can leave it for now. And then it brought down to like 5,600, and she was like, okay. We rewatched the recording, and she goes, and she, right before I said that, she goes, all right. And
Oh.
I, and so, and then, but doing the right thing is what I'm saying. A week
Yes.
later, she calls me. She goes, "Hey Ben, I got some more money. Let's do the whole $8,500." And
Unbelievable.
we got the whole house, and it was
Unbelievable.
like, and it just made me like be like, I felt good about it. It was good. Like, so doing the right thing, and that's what my mom taught me, is like
Yep.
just do the right thing from the beginning, and it'll all work out.
Well, I hear it. I hear it on both sides, Ben. Like I hear you did the right thing by the customer, but you were doing the right thing by yourself, for yourself, by recording your call, listening back to that call, like being invested in your own growth, showed you, hey, this could have been that. Okay, area for improvement on the next call or the next estimate. But ultimately, it reaffirmed that, like, yeah, but I did what I needed to do for the customer, and that came out in the wash
Yeah,
when that phone rang a week or two later, right? I
yeah,
love that, Ben.
100%.
I love it, man. Well, I had an absolute pleasure hanging out with you here today, man. Anything else that you want to share, or anything else that's been like that you think will really benefit anybody at home listening? You know, I really want to, if we can touch and inspire two, three people, that's all we're asking for. Anything else, Ben, you want to share regarding your journey, or any words of encouragement for anyone out there, anything like that?
Yeah, I shared it at the event. I really a year ago from today, college student in a fraternity. It's an interesting life. Was a basketball manager, doing all this cool stuff in college,
Yeah.
and I truly, and everyone would always say, like when I work with like with the alumni, they would always say like, get ready for the real world, get ready for the, and I every time someone would say that, I literally would be like in my head, I was like, I'm gonna prove you wrong so much, because that's not what
Mhm.
life is like.
Yep.
So I never thought I'd be able to do what I did now. Like doing almost 200K in sales in a little under 6 months. Like I never thought it'd be possible. So like these things are possible, and you just gotta and you just gotta do your research, and things will develop over time. And I never thought I'd be presenting estimates on the spot, closing a
Yep.
$12,000 job, or having subcontractors work for me 6 months, let alone 6 months ago. Um, so it is possible. If I can do it, you can do it. Trust me. I am no I am no special. Don't worry. But no, it's all possible. Huge thanks to PvP. I would not be nearly as good off as I am now without PvP. Not only from watching Eric's free stuff, but also just joining the program,
Yeah.
and just joining a group of people who are doing the same thing I'm doing.
Yeah. So good, Ben. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, man. Today, it's been a pleasure meeting you. I'm thankful that I met you. I can tell you, you inspire me. You motivate me for sure. Just your energy, like, makes me want to, like, I'm at the end of my day here, but it makes me want to roll up my sleeves and get right back at it again and put in more reps here. So
Let's go, baby. Come on, let's
you're
go.
motivating me, man. So thanks a ton.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying the show, it would mean the world to me if you would leave a quick review for the podcast and what you gotten out of it. It helps our show reach more people and inspire more people. Thank you so much.